Welcome to Tony Unleashed, the podcast, where I unleash the truth about all things pets. My research and anecdotal evidence, paired with expert interviews, will help your pet thrive. I'm here to answer questions, share insights, and spread awareness about what's really going on in the world of pets. I'm Tony Shalasky with 25 years of experience in the pet space. Welcome to the show. So, Gabby, how you been?
Man, I've been good. We've been good. Busy, but good. How have you?
I'm okay. Same, just weirdness and busyness. And you just got back from somewhere?
Yeah, I got back from Missouri.
For work or
Yeah.
a mission? Because I know you go on your missions.
I went for work. I wish
Okay.
it was a mission.
Okay. So tell me about, because I see you on about reptiles and alligators and saving horses, and talk to me about what that part of your life is.
Okay. So growing up, I think I've always had some sort of thing for life, right? Never been a big fan of people, but but growing up, it started with when there was hard pour rains and worms would come out, and I was so interested. I would want to put them back in the ground. I'm like, oh, we got to get these wormies. And all the boys were just like, oh, like stomping on them. I'm like, what are you doing? Just boys being boys. And I think growing up, my dad and I, every weekend, so every Saturday, we would watch some ocean rescue. And I think it was paired with whatever that SeaWorld. It was paired with SeaWorld. So
Okay.
Unfortunately, SeaWorld isn't great.
Right.
But the issue with it is awful. But what they were doing at the time was more capture, rescue, rehabilitate, and release. So it was coming from a really good place. So when I did like shadowing for veterinary care, and you see how they are aggressive with spaying and everything, because that's just how they do it, I got nauseous. I could not do that. So I was like, oh, Marine would be great, but I'm not going to stay in school for that. So somehow I got on this path of environmental law and policy to like make changes on a legal aspect. Next thing you know, I have a podcast and I go to Africa to do marine research. And now I have 2 feral dogs that I rescued, but I definitely try to advocate for anything wildlife related or environmental related.
While working full time.
While working full time, yeah.
So does your job link in at all as far as
Like overlap?
Yeah.
So somehow I got really lucky with my job. I guess I decide when I want to do clientele work. And so I get a pretty personalized choice for my schedule, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
So that's worked out really well.
Good.
But overlapping, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. So when you say they're feral, are you being literal?
I wouldn't say so. I was called feral as a child. So I think it's definitely on that aspect. They are just insane. They're crackheads.
They're crackheads. You're too much. So, and you adopted them from a rescue?
I did. So we rescued Blue from the Oakland County Animal Shelter. And 3 months later, when they're just getting situated, we go and I'm like, he's really lonely. Like I was telling you before, he's sleeping all the time before I knew it was important for them. And I was like, he's not even 3 yet. He acts like an old man. He's sleeping for the entire day. And then he sleeps all night. Like, he's got to be a little bit more active. So he needs someone.
Mm-hmm.
And I convinced Ben finally, because I wasn't going to be home and he wasn't ready to have 2 dogs, which is fair. but somehow I got him to be into it. We went back to the shelter by ourselves first to kind of look around. I really wanted another pit mix because out of 157 dogs they had there, only 3 of them weren't pit mixes.
Yeah.
A lot of the times pit mixes don't blend well with families with kids.
Yeah.
We don't have that. And I was like, okay, we need to look at this. We need to do another pit mix because we can. And I'm partial to them. So we go and I'm looking at all these, and Ben picks out this one that's not a pit mix. I'm like, oh, she's cute. Okay, keep looking. Like, I like her, but she'd be better with a family.
Oh.
And then we left. We came back another day, brought Blue with us, left him in the car though, and then we told them, and they told us to bring him in, and it was kind of like a speed dating situation. So they wanted to control the environment, bring him in, have them in the same room, but we're both holding leashes. They're about 2 feet apart, kind of get the vibe before they even remotely sniff each other. Then we go on a walk, that whole type of thing. When we came in, before we brought in Blue, I went to the bathroom. And I come back out, and Ben was like, don't be mad. I'm like, what? He's like, they also suggested Frida, which was the dog that wasn't a pity. I'm like, I'm not going to be mad. He's like, I promise I didn't tell him. I'm like, it's okay. And then I was annoyed, sure, because I wanted a pit clan. I was biased. And then they go and bring out Frida when we brought in Blue, and he didn't like notice her at all. And so when we brought out the pitties, they weren't working out well. Blue was fine for the most part. There was a couple that just like immediately he did not vibe with, which was kind of interesting to see that. But the other ones were so much more hyper and wanted to be on top of him. But it was like a female that was smaller than him and just obsessed, when they're like high energy, want to get in your face, love on you. It was kind of like that. So we had to pull him away, and they were kind of concerned. They're like, these vibes right out the gate aren't great, because once he gets to the home and there's a new dog, there's not good boundaries, and it's going to be a lot harder for you to get them kind of blending together at the same level emotionally.
Yeah.
So we took Nala and him on a walk, or Frida at the time. And she was like a great walker. Like you couldn't even tell that she was in a shelter or anything. And again, I just wanted a pity. And I knew that she would be great with a family, and pitties wouldn't be great with kids. So I just felt like it would be better for her to be with someone else. And they kept saying, Frida, Frida, Frida. And so we left, and I'm like, oh, what are we doing? Let's go back. He's like, we're getting Frida. I'm like, yes, we're getting Frida. So we brought Blue back. We got Frida, and we named her Nala. And then they've been the dynamic duo ever since. But she doesn't know how to walk anymore. Obsessed with birds. Like, it's actually insane. And Blue started learning things from her that weren't great. So, they're just out here.
Yeah. Yeah. Are these your first dogs on your own?
Yeah.
So when you adopted them, did you continue feeding what they were feeding at the shelter?
No.
Okay.
So the first thing that we did when we got Blue, they didn't actually give us food. And we didn't realize that till dinner. And I was like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? So we gave him like chicken and rice because we thought that would be easy on his stomach. And he loved it. Ben actually had to hand feed him at first because he wasn't even to go in or anything. It was kind of strange. But he was on the streets for 2 weeks. Or actually, they were contacting his person for 2 weeks. So we don't even know how long he was on the streets.
Okay.
But that was interesting. And then we got him, it's like a yellow and then orange and purple brand.
I think you sent it to me. I think it might have been Nature's Recipe. Does that sound right?
Yeah. So we were feeding him that for a little bit. And then Nala, we just kind of fed her, I guess, whatever we had with him.
Okay.
She's now more food driven than she's ever been before, which is interesting.
Huh.
We definitely love that Optigest from Inklover.
Oh, good.
Love it.
So are they still eating a lot of grass?
No.
Okay.
I would look at them like you told me to. They do eat that taller, wide blade grass.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting.
Isn't that interesting?
It's something I never would have noticed before.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, quick side note. Did I tell you how I noticed that? When I was a pet sitter for 8 years.
Yeah.
All I did was I paid attention to dogs. I walked dogs. I took my job very seriously. So, did you ever hear of Monty Roberts?
No.
Oh my gosh, you would love his book. You would love his story.
Okay.
So he came from, he's in the horse world. I'm pretty sure he's still alive, but he's definitely older, at least in his 80s. And he had a very abusive father. And they had a big horse farm, and they would do the classic horse breaking method, which is basically they beat the hell out of these horses, right?
Yeah.
To break them. And it really troubled him. And because his dad was so abusive to him and his brother, he was very abusive to the horses. And Monty would go out on his own, out into the countryside, wherever they lived. I can't remember where it was. It was somewhere out west. And would just, as a kid, live by himself. And he would observe horses in the wild. And he learned their body language. And he developed his own method that he calls, I think he coined the term, but it's called gentling. So
wow.
You would love his book.
And what's the book called?
The book is called, I'm pretty sure it's called The Horse Whisperer.
Okay.
And it became a movie, but it was a very poorly done movie compared to the book. Robert Redford I'm pretty sure he produced and starred in the movie, but don't watch it. You have to, you would love it.
Okay.
So I kind of, relate to him in that way. Like I've learned things just from observing. If you get quiet and you just watch, you start to hear things too.
Yeah, that's definitely how scientific studies are done, right? And like data researchers are usually so much more backed up with huge funds, and that's not always feasible. And that's why so many studies haven't been done, because there aren't these funds from huge, I guess, investors that want to put their money towards that. Mm-hmm. So when you hear like, oh, there's not been data done on this, blah, 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 that doesn't necessarily mean that it's not true. It just means that you don't have certain people accrediting you. So that doesn't always mean that their approval is what seals the deal,
And so that's exactly the way it is with pet food.
Yeah.
The only ones that have that seal of approval, that scientific study that's been done, are the Purinas, the Hills Science Diet, the Royal Canins, the ones that are owned by massive corporations that have tons of money to put into scientific studies that are leveraged, right?
Right. Yeah, to prove that, or not even prove, but more so do data that's pushing their view.
Yep. And you know that in your profession too? Same thing?
Yeah. Absolutely. Because there's so many things in marine research or protection that aren't being supported, like a lot of mangrove forests, a lot of coral reef restorations, anything on like Florida coastlines, like kelp forests and anything like that. None of that is being protected because they want people to have hotels and beaches accessible.
But it doesn't make any sense, Gabby, because I go to Florida 3 or 4 times a year because I have a store in Florida on the Gulf side, and then I have family on the Gulf side too. So I go quite a bit. And a lot of times you can't even go to the beach because it smells so bad. They call it red tide.
Yeah. So red tide is bacteria. It's like massive, I wouldn't say algal blooms, but what it is when you have an imbalanced food web. So when they take out all of these different species, especially sharks, then you have certain populations that are no longer kept in check, overeating, taking over certain areas, and then disease starts to increase. And so when that happens, then everyone else is now affected. So you can't really go to the beaches. You can't really enjoy anything miles away. It smells terribly. And then when you have all these storms, all that's going to get pushed into towns. So because rich people, usually rich white men, hopefully that won't be it forever, rich women of any color, any culture, but these investors are not investing in things that are a long-term benefit, and they're taking away a lot of things that are long-term benefit. So when you talk about, let's say, shrimp farming, all of these mangrove forests that were taken out that provide billions of economic value that's not physical, but is there, is taken away for shrimp farming. So when they do all the shrimp farming, at the end of when all the nutrition is depleted from the soil, it's just mucky, muddy areas. So then at that point, they have to move to a different area, clear all the forests, and start there. And they just leave that area, surrounding communities stuck with that mud. And then that billion revenue is gone, is lost.
So are you a vegetarian?
I'm not. I used to be vegan, went pescatarian, and now I'm just more so focused on ingredients.
So if you ate fish, would you eat farmed fish?
So I'm very particular. I don't eat farm fish. Sometimes I get to the point where my stress is just worse than me eating farm-raised salmon in that moment. But I try so hard to never eat farm-raised shrimp because they're disgusting.
Yeah.
And I know what's going on.
Yeah.
So ignorance is bliss.
Yeah. I mean, they
Truly.
literally are swimming around in their shit, right?
Yeah. And so are salmon. I mean, any fish that's farm raised, you can taste it. Once you know about it, you can taste it. And the amount of, maybe not antibiotics, if that's not a thing anymore. I don't even pay attention to that because I don't eat it. But there's certain regulations that even though they post it, there's other things they're doing behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So I don't touch it.
Okay. So this is similar in pet food. So I can tell you that what goes on an ingredient label in pet food, only what the manufacturer puts in the pet food is what has to be on the ingredient label. So if the meat manufacturer put BHA, BHT, you know what all these things are, right? Ethoxyquin. These are chemical preservatives that cause cancer.
Right.
If they are used by the meat manufacturer to preserve their meat to make it last longer, it does not have to be on the ingredient label because the food manufacturer didn't put it in. The meat manufacturer used it.
So can you explain to me what the difference of them are? Is the Meat manufacturer the first.
So I don't grow. So say I'm Tony's Pet Food. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have my own farm that I grow my own animals on to put into my pet food. And I don't grow my own vegetables. I buy them from manufacturers.
Right.
I buy them from a farmer or the middle meat man or it's craziness, Cargill or whoever. If the meat manufacturer that I purchased my meat from to put in my pet food used a preservative, I might not even know that, number one. Number two, I don't have to put it on my ingredient panel.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
It shocks me in this moment, but at the same time, us knowing everything that they do, that doesn't shock me.
Right?
Yes. That's so insane.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's so many overlaps. Even though we're in completely different industries, there's so many overlaps. Like just like the scientific studies being done in your industry.
Yeah.
To leverage things certain ways, same thing in pet food.
Well, it's kind of like beef tallow too right now. So they say that it's non-comedogenic, some parts, some studies, and then other studies saying that it is comedogenic. And the importance of that is that.
What do you mean by the word comedogenic?
So it doesn't clog your pores. And I want to say, so this is completely inferenced, but I want to say that the studies are saying that it's comedogenic is because they don't want you to use that instead of their products.
And you're talking cosmetics.
I'm talking cosmetics.
Yeah.
So like when I do things for my face,
mm-hmm.
But if I want to use beef tallow as like anything, so if I want to do it for cooking, if I want to do it for my paws for my dogs,
mm-hmm.
if I want to do it for my face as moisturizer,
mm-hmm.
I can just buy it one time and use it for multiple purposes.
Mm-hmm.
But you have studies saying that it's comedogenic, so it'll clog up your pores and cause acne.
Mm-hmm.
But it's non-comedogenic, so it's not going to do that. It's not coconut oil. So you can use it and it won't clog up your pores.
So the Revlons or the Colgate Palmolives or whomever are producing studies that say it does clog pores?
Yeah.
Wow. Can it be used as a sunscreen too?
Yeah.
So, and you use it on your dog's paws?
I do.
To moisturize, does it also help them adapt to like hot sand or pavement?
You know, I would have
or
to
salt
say
in the winter? Do you know?
I don't 100% know.
Okay.
But thinking about it, I could see that it would help protect their paws with salt in the snow because it closes it up. So it's like the last step of your skincare. When you put it on, it helps seal in your pores. And so with their paws, it's kind of like, I use it for chapstick actually. So it helps keep in everything. And with their paws and the salt, or I wouldn't say fertilizer, but anything that other people do, I think it helps protect it. But I think you'd still want to wash their paws afterwards just to make sure it doesn't stick to it.
Got it. Interesting. And I wonder if it would help, because we constantly hear about dogs with licking and chewing their paws, and a lot of them are discolored, and ultimately that comes from the gut. But
yeah,
a lot of times people do need that quick fix so they don't end up chewing to the point that they need an antibiotic or something.
Yeah, exactly. I think that is something that would truly benefit them. I don't think it's something that would harm them, but I'm not sure if it is like a one-fit-all solution to prevent allergies, but I think it could help them in those moments.
So you don't have to name it, but if it's a certain brand or anything, but where do you get your beef tallow? Do you go to a butcher that does it? Do you have a brand that you love or?
Yeah, actually, I'm having him on my podcast because I'm obsessed with it. It's here in Michigan. So it's called Tallow Barn Organics. And he does everything with straight essential oils for like chapstick or tallow or whatever. But he sources it from Maitland Farms. And so this is a ma and pa owned farm that
Love
does
it.
pasture raised organic feeds, I
Love it.
guess. So they have lamb and cow, and they sell eggs, and they sell pork, and they do like, those bones for the bone broth
The
or
femur
marrow
bones.
bones. Yeah, exactly. So it was really cool that I found that at a farmer's market, which doesn't surprise me. I'd find that there, but I don't know. I find that it's my favorite chapstick, and the tallow, going to them and getting their products, by far the best.
Fascinating. So you know how bad seed oils are,
Mm-hmm.
and canola oil. It's all really bad. It creates inflammation in the body. It's just, so I've been on a kick to avoid seed oils because I have chronic Lyme disease. So I always run at a low grade of stiffness and soreness and inflammation. So
Mm-hmm.
I've been really working hard at trying to get rid of seed oils. And I absolutely love potato chips. And I found, have you heard about Vandy crisps?
Why does that sound familiar?
They use beef tallow.
Do they
and
really?
only beef tallow and potatoes that are not sprayed with CCFC or whatever it is. Potato farmers won't go in their fields after they've been sprayed for like days,
Yeah.
so they don't die. So these potato chips are crazy expensive, but they are so fucking delicious.
Honestly, there are some times where, like, there was this one movie and it was saying how looking at ingredients and buying organic and doing the better stuff can seem, I guess, like pretentious. But at the same time, I think it's all about what you prioritize in your budgets.
Absolutely. We've had this conversation about pet food.
Mm-hmm. And so my biggest budget every single month without any
Is food.
is food. Like without any second guessing,
Yeah.
food.
Yeah, same. But a lot of time, but think about it. Like I really try, especially this time of year, to go to farmers markets, to go to my local farms that really have amazing stuff.
And they're so much cheaper.
And you're supporting local farms. Every dollar is a vote. We need our farmers so badly.
And you feel so good doing it. Like I walk
Yes.
away, I'm like, I don't
Yes.
mind spending an extra $3, but it's not an extra $3. Like I got a ton of stuff that I've never even seen before.
Yeah.
And it was $30.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It just makes you realize that it doesn't have to be as expensive as it is in the grocery stores, but it's because of all the different people it touches.
Yeah.
And most of those people that it touches in the forefront don't get that money anyways.
Yep. So do you get bones at the same place? Are you making your own bone broth or anything yet?
That is on our list. I definitely want to, for sure.
Yeah.
I think that would be really cool to do. So far right now, we are trying to buy a freezer, like a bulk freezer for the garage. So then we can like buy half a cow or buy whatever, have a ton of meat on hand and bones and organs and whatnot, and then provide that to the dogs, provide that to us, kind of like a two birds, one stone type of thing.
Nice.
It's weird to think about it, but prepping for the winter in a way. So trying to can everything I get from the farmers markets that I'm not going to eat so it doesn't go bad. Figuring out how to pickle, which is fun. I actually had some potatoes that were going bad in my pantry, so I just tossed them in the soil that I like found someone literally throwing in the trash, like this garden thing, and I get compliments on it all the time. Put them in there, and they've grown like massive stalks, and I'm just waiting for the flowers to die so I can pull them.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah. I didn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Forgot about them.
Yeah.
Taking care of themselves.
I can't put potatoes in my compost pile because the potatoes will grow right out of the compost pile. You can't, I mean,
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, it happens.
Oh
It
my
happens. They
gosh.
call those volunteers.
Yeah,
A gardener
they
will
do.
call that a volunteer. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Okay, so is that your long-term goal with you and Ben and the dogs is to get
Be
the freeze?
Amish.
Yeah, be Amish. Without the puppy mills, please.
Exactly. Yeah. The good parts.
Yeah.
I think that's something I've just recently really want to do. And he's just here.
Yeah.
He's just dealing with all my stuff. He's like, oh gosh, okay, we're doing that. He's like, we have too many jars. I'm like, Ben, do not get rid of the jars. Put them in the garage. We need the jars. We're not going to have enough jars to jar things. I don't know how many times I can say jar in a sentence, but I did a lot.
We're kind of all over the place, but I don't care. What's going on with the Everglades?
So, dealing with a lot of changes in laws and enactments, Florida is getting pummeled. So, the Everglades, for those of you who don't know, it's a big water area, if that's what you want to call it. And it holds a lot of different species. It holds a lot of monetary value for the economy. And it's wanting to be, the government, senates, rich people want to clear it and probably build some sort of construction site on it, is my guess.
Oh my God. So
not surprised.
Aren't part of the Everglades a national park?
Yeah, a lot of national parks are defunded, so they took away funding. Then they cut back and fired thousands of jobs after whoever was going to be president said he was going to provide jobs. And then now that they're not really supported and doing all these things, now they're like right where people can go after them and be like, hey, this isn't going anywhere. We're going to put money into it and buy it or do something for it. Would you be willing to support this? No, we don't really need your support. That was just a nice way of us to tell you what's going on. And now we're going to do what we want to do. Well, so many people care about the land. So many people are using their social media platform as a way to promote awareness of what's going on and start voting, start being a part of change, start being a part of riots and things like that to help prevent these things from happening, because it's super easy to get rid of things, but to put things back to where they were takes so much more money, so much time, and a lot of the times it won't be exactly the way it was. You already have species that are seriously endangered. I mean, our birds are really feeling it right now, which is sad because nobody really pays attention to that.
Is it true that, and I don't know if you'll know this or not, but I have a feeling you will. Is it true that the windmills really kill a lot of birds? Like our big windmills that generate power?
So, yes and no. The windmills do cause a lot of bird collisions because, I mean, frankly, my own house does. I get birds flying into my windows.
Me too. Yeah.
And it's kind of insane because I have like this purple reflective thing. Whoever owned the house before, it was to prevent a lot of like sunlight coming in, which is not like my thing, but I still get birds, which is weird. So let alone house windows and big skyscraper buildings, you have these windmills that are fantastic for providing energy to houses and the whole power grid. But birds don't see them. Like they go faster than they look from hundreds of feet away.
Yeah.
And so they kill birds like nobody's business. But to add to that, they're wanting to put these windmills into our oceans.
What?
Mm-hmm.
So tell me the positives and tell me the negatives.
So it's always great to do clean energy.
Mm-hmm.
But the things that they have to do to put those into the ocean is not great. I mean, how else will you get it into the ocean? But also, when it's there, the amount of noise it will emanate from it will be insane. And whales and other migratory marine species, you know how water moves sound quicker than air?
It'll totally throw them off and fuck up their migration.
Ships do that already. Like cruise line ships. I used to love cruises before
Never been
I knew.
on one.
They're amazing, but they're also the worst. So they totally disrupt all of the migratory patterns of whales because they rely on these noises that they'll send out, kind of like birds. They'll send out the signals, and then off the coastline, I'm going to say it incorrectly. I believe it's 3,500 miles off the coastline, but it's something to where they no longer have to worry about emanating waste. Like they can just open up a hatch and release all the waste from the cruise line
the
into
shit,
the ocean.
The tampons, the toilet paper,
trash,
the condoms.
everything.
Trash?
Yeah. So everything can be released.
All of my life, I've wondered where everything goes, mostly from the toilets. I thought they hauled trash back in.
It depends on how close they are. If they're going to stop somewhere, then they can. But then that's unusual.
I'm never going on a cruise. I'm so glad I've never been on a cruise.
It's really sad.
Fucked up.
But you also have to think of it, it's mainly in the legislative issue. And that's why I'm so much more into doing what I'm doing now. Because when you create awareness and then provide people the opportunity to make change, things will change.
Yeah, you're right. Do you want to talk about plastic in the ocean?
We can. So there's some negatives. We all know them. Plastic, I try to use as little as plastic as possible.
Same.
There are going to be times where you do use plastic. In the beginning of being hard on yourself and learning about everything, you get really depressed.
Mm-hmm.
Then hopefully, like what I did, you go through that period of knowing that you can't control everything. You can try to do your best. And in times where you don't show up, you can hopefully show up in other areas in your life. I travel a lot for work, so I will bring my own, almost like a camping utensil. It's a 3-in-1 fork, knife, and spoon.
It's a spork.
Because, because we use things like plastic bags, plastic utensils, takeout Tupperware. Like we use things so frequently that it adds up. And so doing little changes prevents plastic from going into landfills. And a lot of the times, the trucks that take your garbage, they're not fully sealed to where it's going to get out somehow. Wind carries things because it's supposed to carry seeds and whatnot, but it also carries plastic pretty well. Mm-hmm. So somehow it'll get into our waterways and then it'll go into our oceans and kill marine life. The importance of that is that marine life provide us oxygen, millions of jobs, millions of pounds of protein, so many things. When we start to use our ocean as a trash, then it starts to affect us. With plastic being used, let's say I use a plastic fork every single day. If you multiply that, so let's say 1 year, 365 plastic forks have been used. times every single person on this planet. You have a lot more than you thought.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If that gets into the ocean, it gets kind of pulled into those gyres. So you have like 5 gyres in the Pacific Ocean that a lot of currents are kind of like a hurricane.
Oh, I thought there were 3. There's 5?
There's 5.
Wow.
What positive notice is that there's amazing people that try to pivot. They're like, okay, what can we do? There is I believe it's New Zealand or Switzerland. Maybe it's Sweden. You'll find out when you look it up, because I'm sure these listeners, y'all are going to be super interested. But there's a company that cleans up these gyres, rivers, everything that comes out of these massive trash waterways, like LA's river. So there's a river in Malaysia, and there's so much trash that just goes all the way out to the ocean. So they have this massive cleaning ship, and it's like a conveyor. And they've done so much technological advances that there's new ones that's come out, and they are able to identify when there's a turtle in there or something that is trapped. And so it's mainly like releases this big net, and then it'll slowly pull things in.
Yeah.
It has those little sensors that can tell, and they'll release it, and then they'll start over. And they've done amazing work. They get millions of pounds of trash and plastic, and they are now working with companies that are making lawn chairs and doing things out of these plastic pieces because it's not going to go anywhere. So people think that plastic just takes so long to degrade, but it never actually degrades. So it just breaks down into smaller pieces called microplastics. So when you think about using plastic, think about the fact that one grocery bag takes 200 years to remotely break down. And you're not going to be here.
Right.
So using a laundry basket like I do, and having it in your car. And when you go to the grocery store, forgetting all your bags, who cares? You put it in the cart, you scan them, put it back in the cart. You go out to your car, you put it in the laundry basket, and you put your cart in those little cart things. That's why they have them.
Right.
So then when you get home, you bring the whole laundry basket in there. You don't have to hold a million of them.
Right.
You don't have to have these cool tips and tricks of like the things that you can like hold multiple things. No, you don't need to buy more things to make things easier. Just do that. I don't know if I said it, but the ocean cleanup organization is called the Ocean Cleanup.
Just like that, the Ocean Cleanup.
The Ocean Cleanup.
So is it a nonprofit? Is it a for-profit business? Do you know? Is it the oceancleanup.org or?
So you can look up the oceancleanup.com.
Okay.
It's a bunch of engineers. So I'm not quite sure if it's something related to their country or if it's more of I believe it's an organization. But they take these, they call them receptors or intraceptors. And they have some that are literally at specific rivers staying there to prevent more trash from coming out. It's really cool. So it's things like that that make me feel like things are always going to get worse before they get better, because we know who's president. But we do know that there's people out there thinking the same way that we do, that we care, that we're protecting as much as we can. The interceptors from the Ocean Cleanup are doing huge things that are making a huge impact. And the other part of contributing to that is using less plastic.
And ultimately, we have to use less plastic. Because even though they're cleaning it up, we have to use less. We have to dispose of it better. The ones, and I feel like because I was just in Puerto Rico and you see a lot more trash and things, or if you go to a place that you're not supposed to drink the water. I mean, that's part of it too. I feel like we need the infrastructure of water filtration systems so that you can go to these countries and drink the water and you don't have to buy bottled water. And you want to hear one of my conspiracy theories?
I do. Always.
Always, right? You're there for it. So I think we're told to drink way more water than we need to drink so that we continue to buy bottled water.
I think that is very accurate.
Yeah.
And I think it's very interesting because it's like, it's not Horton Hears a Who, it's the other one. It's the tree one with Lorax. So, you know how they like capture air?
Yeah.
It's the same concept.
Yeah.
And like before it was a thing, capturing water and selling it back to people is so corrupt.
Yes.
And I have become more and more of a hippie, like not against the government, but like not being stupid. Like knowing.
Well, we have brains and we need to continue thinking. That's what makes me crazy is we have stopped fucking thinking.
We have. There's so many posts where they say like when they first came up with the washing machine and trying to sell us convenience. So that way, once we're sold convenience, we're living a faster life. And once you live that faster lifestyle, working the 9 to 5, doing all these things, you rarely have time for yourself. So then you're tired. So then you're not left able to really think or fight or really know what's going on.
And you become addicted to that fast lifestyle.
Yeah.
Huh. Fascinating. You want to know what I do when I go to a hotel?
I do.
And Gabby, I've done this crazy shit for decades, but I feel like my parents were environmentalists before. Like they conserved water. My mother used to put a bucket under our gutter to save water, to water her plants. Like they were born during the Depression. So my dad, this is crazy. My dad, we had a natural spring over the hill from where we lived. And they never got it tested or anything. We didn't drink it, but he pumped it up for our laundry. And then so we washed our laundry with that spring water. And then he found some way to rig the washing machine to hold the rinse water in the wash tub. And then he pumped the rinse water back into the wash tub for the next load of wash.
Wow.
Do you know how much that would have saved, especially in old washing machines?
A lot.
A lot. So I think I always kind of had that mindset from them. So when I go to hotels, if the trash can is lined with a plastic bag, which a lot of times they're not anymore, but if it's lined with a plastic bag, I only use one trash can. I
do the same thing.
Right?
And sometimes I'm like...
That's why we like each other so much.
Sometimes I just get so upset because they'll come in multiple times throughout my stay, and I try to get them to not to.
I don't let them. It's a waste of resources.
It is. And if I have like stuff I can recycle, I oddly enough, like I know people aren't going to do this, but I do it.
You bring it home.
I bring it home.
Yeah.
Unless I find some recycling area that I can do that. But
do you save that bar of soap too?
I actually brought it back with me this last time.
I always save the bars of soap.
Because I'll use it in my guest room. Like,
yeah.
They don't use it often enough to really matter for them, and I'm not going to use it. So
yeah. I just had on one of my favorite pet shampoos, which is actually also can be used for humans. You should.
I'm interested. Tell me.
She checks all the boxes.
Okay.
All the boxes. She doesn't. Her shampoos are all concentrates. The ones that are liquids are all concentrates. Because, and these are her words, I'm not going to pay to ship water. She only puts her liquid shampoos in aluminum. And she pushes her bar soaps more than anything that are in a natural cardboard container. Apple cider vinegar in all of her formulas. Truly human. I have not used her shampoos yet, but that's all she uses is her own shampoo on her hair. And
Wow.
she's turned other people in the industry onto her shampoo, like Dr. Judy Morgan and everything. And people are amazed
By the
at
simplicity?
yes. Yes. And she
I am
says
obsessed with
that
that. And the
only
more I hear
9% of our plastic
brands
gets
like
recycled. Is that true?
get into the whole cosmetic world, I just think of the fact that like we're so mind blown about the small, like the literal ingredients, like things that should have been there in the first place,
Yeah.
and the things that don't need as much effort and outsourcing and whatever else.
Yeah.
Like, it's nice that people are becoming awake to it.
Yeah, I think that it is. I think everything is coming back full swing. I just want people to think. I just want people to look in their dog and cat's bowl and think, well, first of all, should they even eat in bowls? Would they naturally eat in a bowl? No, they wouldn't. My dogs don't eat in bowls. So,
What do they eat in?
Layla eats on a platter. So I literally have a ocean bound plastic from Westpaw. It's their it's their placemat.
Okay.
So I use a placemat for Layla to eat off of, and Bo too. Like his is just smaller. And then there's a company called Mine Pet Platter. She's a psychologist that has done a ton of research on picky eaters, both dogs and cats.
Mm-hmm.
And it all comes back to they would never eat in a bowl. And cats get whisker fatigue. So cats have whiskers and dogs have whiskers to warn them of
like objects, things, clothes,
objects to be fearful of. Mm-hmm. So if a cat's whiskers hit the side of a bowl, there you go. There's your picky cat. And how many picky cats do we know? They're almost all picky.
Yeah.
There's this whole, I haven't had her on yet, the woman that developed the pet platter, but I'm going to.
Keyword yet. She'll be on.
Yes, definitely.
Stay tuned, everyone.
Definitely.
That's awesome.
And I want the beef tallow guy, maybe.
Yeah.
So let me know how that goes, and then if you think I can tie it in pet food wise.
Yeah.
Gabby, did I miss anything you wanted to talk about? We were all over the place.
I want to pick your brain about this because I know you talked about it.
What?
Yard wise.
Yeah.
Dealing with implementing plants that kind of deter ticks and things like that, that you don't need to do a lot of sprays. Like, we stopped getting bug companies out here. And the most insane thing is last year when we moved in, had to kind of put in a bug company because they hadn't had a bug company in a while. We were getting these massive spiders, you kill them because you're scared. You're like, they're out to get me. I'm going to die if it's still here and I didn't kill it and I sleep. This year, or when we put it in, we were having a lot of spiders. When it would rain, they would come in and they're like, oh, that's totally normal. When we stopped getting our bug company this year, it would rain. No spiders came in. When we did have spiders, there was very, very few. It was like the normal house spiders. And they would take care of all the bugs that would come in when we would open the doors up at night. So I was like, Ben, leave them. He's like, they're going to get me. I'm like, they don't think about you like you think about you, just like everything else. Well, when we stopped doing that, I had to think about mosquitoes and ticks and things like that. So I got lemongrass, I got lemon balm, thyme, rosemary. Like, I got all of these things.
Okay.
It's fantastic. But then Nala started eating the lemongrass because it looks like a tall blade of grass. Well, I found out lemongrass is toxic to them. So she would still eat it, and I'd have to be like, Nala, no, leave it. I promise you. I got something for you inside. Don't worry about it. What do you do with that pesticide issue for people who are trying to kind of come at it both ways, natural, but still preventative and safe for dogs?
Can you have chickens?
I want chickens. We don't have a HOA.
So chickens eat ticks.
Okay.
There you go. Have you done cedar chips?
I haven't.
So Cedarside is a brand, and they pulverize the cedar into like a powder, almost like these tiny little granules. And I sprinkle it throughout my yard, and I sprinkle it on top of my mulch. I don't know why. I don't have any. I mean, my dogs still get ticks, but I don't have bug problems in my yard. And I've lived here 12 years. I've never sprayed my yard. I live kind of wooded.
Okay.
So that's what I do. And I do diatomaceous earth every once in a while around my perimeter.
Okay.
The thing with DE, though, you have to do it periodically because rain will wash it away. But I feel like if you periodically do the cedar chips, the cedar mulch, the diatomaceous earth, maybe spray with the Cedarside. They even have one that attaches to your hose.
Okay.
And then get chickens. That's the best thing you can do for your household.
Because the one thing I learned about this year, we had cedar mulch last year. And then this year I was like, oh, I want pollinators. Like I want a bunch of bees and butterflies and I want the whole 9 yards. Well, I guess cedar deters bugs, but it also deters pollinators.
Even pollinators. I didn't realize that.
But it's like so difficult because you're trying to figure things out. But I don't know if, I mean, they haven't done what, but they haven't gotten anything. They haven't gotten ticks. They haven't gotten lice. They haven't gotten fleas.
Yeah.
They haven't gotten anything. Blue's ears, I'll use a Q-tip to like clean all the brown gook out of it. Haven't done that in months. His ears have been pristine. But I don't know what it is because I'm not doing anything.
So you didn't change the food?
I changed the food. We changed it back. They love it. They're obsessed with it. But
I mean, if his ears are cleaner,
it was a game changer.
That in clover Optigest could help to control the yeast in the gut as well.
It is called Open Farm.
Open Farm. Kibble.
Yeah. Unfortunately, but it was the best kibble we could find. We put goat milk in there.
Yes.
We put a 4th cup of water to kind of make it a little bit more wet.
Fabulous. Gabby, if you're doing, that's what did it. That's what made his ears cleaner. If you are you upgraded the food majorly. You might not think you did, but you did. And you are giving them goat's milk and you are giving them Optigest. That has absolutely affected how much yeast is in the body, which is why his ears are cleaner. Absolutely. You did it. You did it. And then you're going to make your own bone broth, and you and Ben and the dogs are going to get your own bone broth, which is good for the joints and good for the gut. You're on your way.
That's so exciting. I love to hear that.
It's a journey. Trust me, it's a journey. Yeah. Even still for me, it's a journey. Yeah.
This week I got acid reflux for the first time, so it is definitely a journey.
You personally? Did you try raw honey for it?
I didn't know I have raw honey, but I didn't know that would help. But it hurts.
And you can take Optigest.
Anything. Okay, I'm going to have
put
to
a teaspoon, put it in water with a meal.
Okay.
I swear I do it all the time.
I know, that's why I got it. When you said I personally take it, I'm like, sold.
Yeah.
Sold.
Yeah. All right. Sweet. That's great. I'm so happy.
It's huge news. Because this was months.
And it wasn't that bad. Like you changed the food, you added in a little bit of goat's milk, you added in the Optigest.
And I had to stop overthinking about it and trying to add things.
That's what most people struggle with, overthinking. And the last time we talked, you were really obsessed on supplements.
So obsessed. Mm-hmm. And I was the person that was like, well, how do you not? I don't want to do supplements.
No.
But that's all I could think about.
Yeah. Yeah. Like 10% on the market are valid. You need to follow Angela Ardolino. I'll send it to you. And just reach out if you need anything.
Well, of course.
Of course.
This was awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm excited for your beef tallow episode. And then maybe let's chat after that. Just you and I.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Gabby, it was really good to talk to you. I think I just realized I didn't really introduce you.
That's okay.
But this is Gabrielle Brown, my friend. She has the Happily Living podcast. And I would say it's mostly environmental, would you say?
It's environmental forward, but it's relating to how people benefit on it. So it's how you can benefit and make your life so much better by making smaller shifts in your day-to-day that end up benefiting the environment.
Yep. It's the little things.
It's the little things.
That's right. All right, Gabby, thanks for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me, Tony. Always love talking to you.
And we'll talk soon.